Hey, it's Mike again. This is kind of going to be rambling more than usual, I guess. I was going to do a big one about all the stuff going on today. The counting the votes, which is supposed to be a ceremonial process, ceremonial activity. Not really, definitive things can happen besides like, hey, it's done, it's over with. Yes, there's a few little exceptions, but we've never actually implemented them besides like in 1887 was something about the two states didn't certify their electorates, so the Senate had to, something like that. But besides that, we haven't had things like that happen. Anyway, so I was thinking I work, doing convenience stores and stuff like that, put in food products on shelves and stuff like that. Anyway, so I'm listening to the news about Mitch McConnell saying what the other Republicans want to do is wrong and this is a fair election, and the 12 Republicans or more that are wanting to object and wanting to hold a 10-day audit of an election that has already proven there wasn't fraud on a massive scale. It's already been proven over and over and over. But anyway, he said, this isn't right. This is America. You're going to have everybody questioning every election if you do this. So, yeah, which was decent. Of course, he turned around and said, Democrats have questioned every election they've lost. But he did admit they didn't go this far, because what they're doing is trying to subvert the Constitution. The Constitution says, what's supposed to happen and what's not supposed to happen. What's legal and not. Man, just, but these people that are we the people that never read the Constitution don't understand that. But anyway, I digress. So, it's like 1:30. I heard that part and then I went to work. And I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking, everybody here, nobody's talking about the election, you're working or shopping or whatever. And, but we have an attempted coup going on. We have, something major happening. I'm thinking, just these 12 senators, embarrassing themselves and embarrassing us all by trying to mess with our election. And anyway, and I'm like, this is pretty big. It hadn't happened before, and nobody's having a reaction. Nobody, talking about it, and things could drastically be changing. And it's just like, I'm like doing activism. That's why I started this channel. It was kind of give another voice out there of common sense of somebody giving you facts over, a bunch of bull, and looking at things from a logical perspective. Anyway, I was inspired by Bo Fifth Column. Like I said, this was gonna ramble, alright? Yeah, but anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a video about, how much we work. It gets in the way of us trying to change things and help things move forward. Alright, I go to my car, I'm like, okay, let's see what Ted Cruz did and stuff. Alright. Let's see what Ted Cruz and the rest of them did. And I pull up, the news, and there's been a riot. There's people sitting where the vice president should be sitting. And, they've taken guns in there, and they've run over the police. And everything like that, Yeah, which all started from Trump having a rally, not far away, and going, well, hey, we need to march down Pennsylvania Avenue and, get the weak Republicans to stand up and do what's right. Yeah, the strong ones don't need it, but the weak ones do, go. So they took this, like many other things they take, and went, okay, we need to storm the Capitol. And by the way, y'all, Blue Lives Matter crowd, the thin blue line, all this crud, those were police y'all walked over, knocked over, and beat, or possibly, I heard there were some shootings going on that possibly shot. So Good job protecting those lives. So it's only a certain group of people that they need to respect and obey the law. Otherwise, we can do whatever the hell we want. I see. And then you don't say there's privilege. Anyway, there's been a lot going on this week, in the last couple of weeks. So a lot of different topics. But anyway, so they storm in and pretty much take over the Capitol. And of course, National Guard finally comes and gets them out. But that's putting our entire government in danger. Man, that's our entire government. And all done by certain Republican senators and the president continuing with a false conspiracy theory that has been disproven by Democrats and Republicans alike, senators, election officials, governors, Republican and Democrat, okay? Secretaries of state, election managers, everybody has come out and went, no. And when they went to trial, Giuliani didn't have any evidence. They haven't presented a shred of evidence. And recently I heard in an interview, if they would just let us see those machines, we'd be able to prove it. Wait, you already said there was proof. How, if you haven't seen the machines and don't have a direct eyewitness, not somebody that cleans the glass off the machine, cleans the glass for one day. No, somebody that actually knows and was sitting there and counting votes, Yeah. And by the way, a bunch of the states in question had hand counts, which don't deal with the machines. Hand counts. Do I have to spell that out for y'all? I'm not talking to the audience that likes us. But anyway, just pointing that out. But this put in danger all of our government officials to appease one person, President Donald Trump, to appease him and to get favor of his base. Just trust me, these senators that were going to make a big deal today, they knew it didn't hold water. They knew that it didn't have constitutional relevance, didn't have legal relevance. They knew it, but they didn't care, And what do you have? A bunch of angry, unruly mob storm our Capitol. Insurrection and treasonous actions. There's no other way to see it. And people will say, well, they're just acting on their rights. No, they're not. You don't interrupt our government to do that when it's a fair election, when you have all the evidence in front of you, and listening to one man above all. And it's ridiculous. But the other point I had was just, activists out there, people that want to make a difference, we got to find time. We got to find time to put our voice out there. Even if you sound like a crazy redneck, like I think I do sometimes. Putting our voice out there and being heard and trying to help move things forward in this country instead of backwards. All right, end of rant.